Sawadee ka, binya bang. That means hello, how are you in Thai. Welcome to Thailand. This is my Motivational Monday number 23. So 23 motivational videos I've done. I hope you've watched a series of them. I've got something really special for you today. Today what we're talking about is failures. All right, we all have failures in life, but the way we look at it, it's perceived like differently from one person to the next. So I want to give you a really good understanding how to change your negative responses of failures into something more positive to help you to learn, to grow, to move forward. So there's a good reason that we fail in life. And I want to give you obviously something to open up your mind so you can change that. We fail in life because it's a learning that we have in life, a positive learning. But you know what we perceive a failure is something that's been like molded in us from childhood, right? So understand a negative link that you've got from your childhood and trying to learn from that and grow from that is going to make a big difference in the way that you can perceive your failures, right? So if you think of a failure, right, think of a failure, you'll generally go back to your childhood. So we've all had failures in our childhood. Think about the response that you've got from that person that told you that it was a failure, right? It could be a teacher, it could be your parents, it could be a mentor, it could be a coach, it could be a babysitter, it could be anyone that you had in your life at the time, all right? Think about how they told you that failure. Was it aggressive? Was it like negative, right? It might have only been something small, but those small things are going to stick with you, especially if they keep like reoccurring in your childhood, right? So a perfect example for me, and if you read the email that I wrote, academically, so my parents put a lot of pressure on me, okay, to be good at school. Academically, it wasn't something I was passionate about, all right? it wasn't something, I wanted to go out and like ride my bike or kick the footy or something like that. So I was never an academically excited person. All right, so my parents put a lot of pressure on me to perform, to succeed. And when I had a failure, example, school reports, either primary school or high school, okay, I wasn't always successful. And I got a negative response from my parents because I wasn't good enough, right? So growing up in your childhood, especially like your school years, that makes you think that you're not academically, okay, like good enough and you're a failure, right? But obviously with some of the work that I've done on myself, I've understood that and I've changed around those failures to make them more a positive learning. And that's why I currently took on a degree the last like 6 months, is because I want to overcome all them like failures and I know I'm good enough to succeed in them, right? And surprisingly enough, like 6 months in, I'm passing all these assignments like 70%. So academically I thought I wasn't good enough, but like with the tools I want to give you today, I want to get you to overcome all these like fears that we have in regard to like failures. Because the failures that we had in our childhood, like they're not really failures. They're just a program in our mind that we think they're a failure. So I want to give you some tools to change that around today, to start like working on that so you can start succeeding in things that you're afraid of. Things that you're afraid of to fail, right? Because if you're afraid to fail at something, you generally won't do it, right? So that's going to like hold you back in life. On that flip side, another thing that my parents really like didn't put too much pressure on me, it was more like physical side of things, more sports, right? They didn't put any pressure on me to perform in any sort of sports, right? And it was more positive, it was more a happy like thing in my life, in my childhood to now, right? And that's probably like why I've got more passion for like fitness, for health, for sports, for triathlon, whatever. Okay, because in my mind it's a lot clearer. I never failed. It was always a success for me, and it always made it strong and clear in my mind. So that's the way I perceived it. Academically, it was a failure, but like physically, it was more a success. Okay. Now I don't need to, obviously do the work in changing the successes in your life, but you need to do the work on yourself to change the failures, to change that thought process, that perceived thought that you have of failures. Because guess what? It's not really a failure. It's a learning. It's a positive outcome for you to grow further. Okay, and something that I've learned, that I've been teaching, is the timeline therapy. Okay, so this is where we go back into your childhood and we find the positive learnings to help overcome that emotion. All right, if you've listened to some of my other meditations, I've got meditation 1 to 10 that we start to work on a lot of emotional responses. You would understand this meditation that I've put together for you in this email as well. If you can click the link down below, it'll take you straight to it. So it's a podcast. It's going to be a meditation that I prefer you to listen to in a quiet place, that you can really open up your mind and to make those changes. Okay, so the meditation, have a listen to it. But the first step is, firstly you need to open up your mind. All right. If you think this is all bullshit, well then guess what it is. If you think it's something that can help you, it will. If you think it's something that is really going to change your life, it will. Okay, so if you've got a closed mind about it, don't even bother. But if you're open-minded and you're willing to make some changes, then it can really help you, just like it has helped me. Okay. So secondly, you need to think back to your childhood. Right now, think back to your childhood and think, right, yes, when did I have a negative emotion towards, or when did I fail, and what was that negative emotion? All right, think back, because there's probably going to be a lot. Okay, but there's probably there's a lot more in that timeline that are a lot stronger, that we need to overcome. Okay, thirdly, watch my video. Okay, my podcast. Do the meditations. I recommend to do it on a nightly basis for the next 2 weeks, and then start to do the homework. Okay, the homework is in your mind. Okay, overcoming these and finding the positive learnings. If you listen to the techniques that I'm going to be teaching you, all right, it'll start to get stronger. You'll start to get a better understanding the first time you listen to it, especially the timeline, understanding your timeline. So there's going to be 2 podcasts, understanding your timeline, and then the failures. Okay, overcoming your failures. So there's 2 podcasts I want you to listen to. The timeline one is just so you can understand your timeline. So where is it from past to now to future, right? Where is it in your body? Right, so that's your homework, and then I want you to practice it, and I want you to overcome all them positive learnings. Okay, overcome all them negative failures, turn them into a positive. So changing that failure to something that is more as a positive, that's going to help you grow and move forward. Thanks for watching today, guys. That's my motivational number 23. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And also check out my website as well, because I can help you, aaronbuchan.com.